so many languages, over 60, the question would be, why do we publish them in so many languages? It's because we have followers in speaking all those languages. In fact, the crushing majority of the followers of the Ahmadiyya Jamaat are non-Pakistani, not only non-Punjabi but non-Pakistani. The crushing majority. So it's a false allegation to say that the followers of the Jamaat Ahmadiyya are Punjabis and Pakistanis as if only or mainly. That's not true. The facts, show the contrary.
Show very much. And just let's develop that for the last few minutes that we have of the program. This is again a sub-allegation which is often raised, that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is just a community made up of Punjabis and Pakistanis, more people like Dr. Zaid than myself. Yeah, there's two gentlemen here who clearly aren't. But I think in a beyond this, I mean, you talked earlier of the number of languages that the Holy Quran's been translated in, but also when we were talking about the spreading of the message and renaissance of Islam, which is Ahmadiyya, we talked about the number of countries in which the true Islam, i.e. Ahmadiyya, is now established. Could you elaborate on, I mean, you've travelled widely as well yourself, Jahangir Sahib, in this context, about the kind of experience and the kind of people that are the Ahmadiyya community?
Well, first of all, I'll say that the Ahmadiyya community really has people from every single background you can imagine, and from every single nationality almost that you can imagine. I think there's hardly any people on earth now of whom we do not have some of them within our ranks. I've met people right from the top, from kings through ministers, as have my respected colleagues here, and down to the poorest of the poor, going through all the strata of society, and in different countries. This is what we find. And they speak different languages, they come from different religious backgrounds, or some are even atheists. We have Muslims also, which is a very interesting thing, who come from every single denomination within Islam, who are now Ahmadi Muslims. They found the truth here, they believed in the Imam Mahdi, and so they're here. So really the Jamaat Ahmadiyya is one of the most, if not the most, cosmopolitan Jamaat in the world. But strangely, perhaps some people might think, we all are unified in our thoughts, and that's only because of the blessing of Allah. We have one God, we have one Prophet, Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and we have one book, the Holy Quran, and we have one Imam who's the Khalifa of the time. And these are all unifying factors for us. So whether it's an Ahmadi Muslim in China, who's maybe a businessman, or a very poor person, in some other country, or maybe a minister in Africa, or anybody really, a student in England, let's say, they're all thinking very much along the same lines, and their hearts are in unison, because we have this blessing, of the guidance of unity which comes through Khilafat, with which we are blessed.
And just on a very personal note, Ibrahim Saab, if I could ask you, I mean, you converted to Islam and you chose the path of Ahmadiyya, but just going back to that particular day when you made that decision, on just a moment of personal reflection, you looked at this community, it was wide, it was of different, what was the element, you didn't certainly see it as a Pakistani Punjabi community.
No, I think the first thing that hit me was the unity. That was it, because that was it. I mean, the first jalsa I attended when I saw Hadhrat Khalifat S.A.W, that was the first thing that hit me, was the unification of all the people that was there. I just want to it's again on a personal note, that I happened to be standing on a tabligh stall, or may I use the word dawah stall, where I was asked by a person that, how can you say that you can bring unity? And on that particular stall that day, we had a brother who was from Pakistan, we had myself from Ireland, we had a Scottish, we had an English gentleman, someone from Wales, and someone from Africa. So I pointed to all of us on the table and I said, well, if you can't get more unity than this, right? It became very apparent to that person who asked the question, well, this is unity, this is bringing people together. And I remember, very quickly I will say this, in Ireland when I was doing Tabligh in Dublin, one person came up and he went, Ahmadis are here also? So we're there, it's a very remarkable thing.
And I think just to sum it up really, yes, there are Punjabis and Pakistanis, and many more are welcome too to join the community, but this is a community, unity of mankind under one belief in one God, one noble prophet, which today in the modern world is unique because we have one leader whose guidance and instruction we follow. which is the Khalifa of the time, and I think that also epitomizes the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Islam. Well, I hope that does answer the question, a perfectly valid question to ask, if that is, you feel, a question that needs to be asked. And we say in the answers that we've given today, please do feel that if there are questions which remain unanswered, please do write in, and the email for you is Faith Matters. I'm sure it's known to you all by now, faithmatters@mta.tv. That's Faith Matters, one word, at mta.tv. And the fax numbers 44 for the UK, 208 687 8037. It falls upon me to first of all thank my panel, if I may. Jahangir Saab, Jazakallah for your contributions today. Ibrahim Saab, thank you for crossing the sea and joining us here in the UK from Ireland. Yeah. Also, always welcome, and I'm sure we look forward to seeing you again. And Dr. Zaid Saab, once again, thank you for your scholarly contributions to the questions which were raised today. And of course, viewers, my thanks go to you. Without you, Faith Matters wouldn't be the program it is. It's a program where we address some of the questions you have and the allegations which, as we have done in this program, that are raised by opponents of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. But one thing should always be understood, that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community represents Islam in its pristine form. It is the same Islam which was brought to the world under the guidance of Hazrat Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad has done is not brought a new faith, but revived the true renaissance of Islam, which is Ahmadiyyat. Until the next time, to all of you, Assalamu alaikum.